Hello guys! I'm sure you enjoyed the story of the foolish quack which was narrated in the previous videos. This story was actually a folk tale. Folk tales include fairy tales or other older stories that are passed down from one generation to the next. That is why we don't even know who the author of the story is. The story begins when some camel men stopped to rest under a clump of trees, meaning a small group of trees, while a few of their camels were let loose. One of the camels entered the melon field and one of the melons got stuck in its throat. When the camel men saw this, they tried to save the life of their camel by tying a thick blanket around its throat and then striking it with all their might. Due to this, the melon broke into small pieces and moved down the camel's throat. However, this incident was witnessed by a foolish quack who mistook the stuck melon for goiter. Goiter is a disease in which the thyroid gland within a person's neck swells up, and the neck appears to be massive and thick. The quack therefore assumed that if he strikes the neck of a person who has goiter in the same way the camel men struck the neck of their camel, the goiter will heal and the person would recover. Hence, he went to a village and claimed to be a doctor that can cure goiter. Within that, the disease, and was pleased to hear about a doctor who could cure her. So, the quack tied a blanket around the old woman's throat and struck her hard with a mallet. A mallet is a hammer with a wooden head. The poor woman wasn't able to sustain such a blow to her neck and died. On seeing this, the villagers turned against the quack and decided to take him to the king. However, one of the villagers said that since the woman was very old, she would have died in a few days anyway. Therefore, the punishment of the quack should be to dig her grave, after which he would be beaten up by the villagers. The villagers thought that digging a whole grave, which is an exhaustive and demanding work, and a good beating, would teach the quack his lesson. However, instead of learning from this terrible experience, the foolish quack moved on to another village and once again pretended to be a doctor and found an old man with goiter. But this time, before beginning his patient's treatment, the quack tells the villagers that if his patient dies during the process, he would not dig his grave. Upon hearing this, the villagers were alarmed and sent him away. This was because the villagers realized that the quack's methods must not be safe, since he was talking about the death of the patient even before he began treating him. The quack therefore decided to go back and find the camel men from whom he learned this trick. Upon finding the camel men, he confronted them and told them about what happened. The camel men immediately realized the mistake of the quack and called him stupid for assuming that an old and feeble woman would be as powerful as a camel. However, the quack still didn't understand his fault. Therefore, one of the camel men came forward and a camel with a heavy stick which was bound with iron rings. Since a camel is a strong animal, it did not feel any pain. Then the camel men struck the quack with the same stick and the quack collapsed on the ground due to the strength of the blow. When the quack woke up again after some time, the camel men told him that they wanted to educate him about the fact that what is good for camels is not good for humans. The quack realized his foolish mistake and vowed to never impersonate a doctor again. Now, let's discuss the meanings of the difficult words in this lesson. Goiter is a disease in which there is a morbid swelling in the thyroid gland of a person. A mallet is a hammer with a wooden head. Being minded is an expression that refers to having the intention to do a particular thing. Stiff means hard. Exhorted means to be urged to do something, while prodigious means enormous. Now that you know the meaning of all the difficult words, you'll find the story even easier to understand. However, to gain an even better understanding of the story, move on to the next part of this lesson, in which we'll be discussing some important questions and answers.